Just wondered quickly if you had anything more on AD and getting poked in the eye there in the first quarter.
Yeah, just like you said, poked in the eye, and he'll be day to day. Be evaluated tomorrow, see how it responds overnight.
Frank, the last couple of weeks you mentioned
how Kyle Kuzma had played in practice, and you also said you were excited to see what Dion Waiters could do in a secondary ball handling, creating role. Anything about today's game that made you think about that and how that could apply moving forward as you guys approach the postseason?
Well, you saw it play out. I mean, both of those guys had exceptional games. In particular, Kyle Kuzma, he did that. What he did today, he did all through our restart training camp, so to speak. And I'm just really excited about, what the restart is going to look like for him. After starting a regular season in a different role with injuries, not quite in rhythm, and just battling, some of those things. To have a fresh mindset of being healthy and a second training camp, so to speak, really seems to have benefited him. We saw him play exceptional tonight, and I just think that's going to be a huge piece for us going into the playoffs. And Dion, same thing. Dion was really good. He just gives us a different dynamic. We have catch and shoot shooters, plenty of them, but what he's able to do, handling the ball, pick and rolls, playmaking, making big shots like he did tonight. We're excited about that as well.
Hey, Frank, it's David Guedeman in LA. I was looking up some of your old Pacers playoff teams, and it seemed like you went about eight and a half guys deep in some of those playoff runs. And I wonder how deep you can go with this group when the playoffs begin.
Yeah, I actually, for the most part, stayed with a 10-man rotation for a lot of those series. There's certain series, you shrink it a little bit more. I think playing against LeBron, we had certain defenders we wanted to make sure we had on him. But I traditionally will go in, continuing to use my depth and then adjust as the series goes along. And that will be the same thing with our group here because, we got a lot of guys that can play that I trust. That can contribute, and we'll see what each of those skill set fits that series, fits that opponent.
Joe Barton?
JR hasn't played in 2 years almost. And he's getting first quarter rotation minutes with you at least today. Are you looking at him in that way, or is this more about just kind of getting him back into some kind of NBA rhythm?
Well, right now he and Dion are wing depth, and I trust his ability to play. Just watching him in our training camp a little bit the other night in the first scrimmage game. What I love about him is how hard he plays, and how he understands team defense. Those things that being through the playoff battles with the Cavs over those years. They strengthen a lot of those habits, and he hasn't played organized in a long time, but he stays in great shape. He plays a lot of basketball still, and we'll see what his role looks like. Right now, I'm just trying to get everybody minutes and rhythm and see how they fit into the way we do things, and we'll sort of divvy out final roles once we get into the games.
Tanya Ganguli?
We talked about the team's chemistry a lot this year. It seems from the outside, at least, like JR and Dion have kind of fit pretty seamlessly into it. Is that what you're seeing also?
It is. I've been happy with it. Both of those guys play the game with an edge. And, you always got to make sure that guys like that fit in with a new group. But so far, LeBron is so good, and AD, so they're so good with just making new guys feel welcome and making sure that the group is doing things on and off the court to achieve that togetherness that has been such a strength for us. So, obviously JR has history with Bron. He's fit in with our coaching staff here very well, and then Dion as well. Dion, further back history, but those guys have been fitting in very well with our group.
Hey Frank, it's Bill Oram. Back to Kuz. His 3-point numbers were obviously down this year, but those first 4 threes he made today were all kind of catch and shoot situations. I'm wondering if that is by design for you guys, if that's how you want him getting his threes. And then also, he said he made a couple tweaks to his shot. I'm just curious how different, if at all, that looks to you from earlier in the year.
Well, he's making higher rate of them, you know. Look, during the hiatus and the pandemic, guys were not allowed to do anything but shoot the basketball, and you know, you could deduct that, you know, all those 1-on-0 shooting workouts, and you know, if he made a tweak or two here with his shot, like all shooters will do, could have benefited him. The catch and shoot variety that he got tonight, obviously those are the best ones. You know, we want to minimize how much we're shooting off the bounce, but punish if teams go under. And you know, we'll take them however we can get them, as long as they're open. And you know, hopefully, you know, we see you know, improved consistency on that front with Kyle.